My main question was, what was it about this small, previously unknown town that now seemed like it was the epicenter of the new civil rights movement in America? The more and more I watched the events unfold in Ferguson, read the newspaper accounts, there were more and more questions that I had that just were not being answered. At some point, I decided as a journalist, as a concerned citizen, to go down to Ferguson. I wanted to be able to at least address some of these questions that I had.
Ferguson used to be a sundown town. So what a sundown town was in the 1950s and early 60s, before the civil rights movement, black folks would come to work in Ferguson, but then they had to be out before the sun set on them.
Being black in St. Louis, we know where to go and where not to go. It's sad to say, but it really is.
When I arrived, this is about 3 weeks. It had been since the funeral. In various instances, these people were coming up to me, asking me, "Miss, you know, I want my account be heard. Can you interview me? Can you take footage of the police line? Can you document and show that this is wrong? And we have serious grievances."
No one has stated any laws that have been broken in this place. We are peacefully assembling in public space. You all are kidnappers and terrorists.
Ferguson is not a bad community. This was the first murder this year by the hands of the police.
This is just really familiar on what's been going on. I mean, it's just a line of police holding their belts, scowling, and people yelling at them. And they're yelling because they're angry, they're heartbroken, and it's been 3 weeks of this, you know, like this is not an unfamiliar scene.
It's about Ferguson. It's about us being unjust as human beings in America. We're behind enemy lines.
People were very angry, and they likened this to all of the other instances. There was the instance, obviously, of Eric Garner in New York City, the chokehold victim. I interviewed as many people who would talk to me, and at the end, it started to sound like a collection of diverse voices. Yes, there was the angry black resident, but then there was the angry white college student who was so ashamed that a body lay in the street for 4.5 hours. And I think that these voices helped me to start kind of getting a better sense of Ferguson. And it's not this far away place, but it's a community, and it's a community that was suffering, you know, quite a bit before this event, which I think really served to be almost like a powder keg. And that's what brought, I think, the eyes of the nation, if not the world, on this town in Missouri. I'm starting a fundraising campaign. My goal is to raise $12,000. This money is necessary in order for me to complete my film. The funds will first go toward covering production costs. That's editing, color correction, sound, and even legal fees. Once the post-production costs are covered, then we move on to the distribution phase. The film will be entered into international film festivals around the world. The costs associated with that include entry fees, as well as publicity and promotion. I'm asking for your assistance, your support, your partnership in helping me to get this film, Ferguson Documented, in 36 hours out to as wide of an audience as possible. With your help, with your support, whatever contribution, large or small, you could help toward my goal amount, it would be greatly appreciated.
We were born in poverty. We was born with nothing. We're fighting to survive. And it's right now we're taking a stand, and you can see that yourself. Look at the news.
Yes, this entire process.
When I first set out to do this film, it was because I wasn't hearing this in the mainstream news reports. And I think that I'm not unlike maybe other people who would hear and read a lot about Ferguson, but still had questions. So it's my sincere hope that you will be willing to work with me, assist me, and let's get this out to, again, as many people as possible. Be a part of this very grand project.
Promise to shine your light.